190 years ago today, one of the most decisive battles in American history was fought. Not in days, not in hours, in just 18 minutes. On a marshy plain in Texas, hundreds of men charged forward, screaming three unforgettable words. Remember the Alamo. Remember Goliad. For 6 long weeks, those words had burned inside them. The Alamo had fallen. Their friends had been executed. Texas was retreating, and many believed it would never survive. But on April 21, 1836, the retreat ended, and history changed forever. Near the banks of Buffalo Bayou and the San Jacinto River, a determined army of only 930 Texans stood against the forces of Mexican General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. Their leader was a man named Sam Houston, a soldier, a statesman, a survivor, a man who had already lived several lifetimes before destiny called him to Texas. Born in Virginia in 1793, raised on the frontier, Houston spent years living among the Cherokee Nation, learning their language, culture, and way of life. He fought bravely under Andrew Jackson, rose through politics, became governor of Tennessee, and seemed destined for the White House, until everything collapsed. His marriage ended, his career shattered, and he disappeared into Cherokee territory. But history wasn't finished with Sam Houston. By 1835, Texas was at war. Mexican dictator Santa Anna was determined to crush the growing independence movement. Then came the Alamo. 13 days of resistance, 189 defenders, and not a single survivor. Santa Anna intended the massacre to spread fear. Instead, it created fury. Houston knew his army wasn't ready. Outnumbered, poorly equipped, inexperienced. So he made a controversial decision. He retreated, week after week, across rivers, across prairies, while critics called him a coward. But Houston wasn't running. He was waiting for the perfect moment. That moment arrived on April 21, 1836. Santa Anna made a fatal mistake. He divided his army, then allowed his exhausted soldiers to rest during the afternoon, believing Houston would never attack. He was wrong. At 4 o'clock, Houston moved forward, through waist-high prairie grass, in near silence. Beside them rolled 2 cannons known as the Twin Sisters. 200 yards from the enemy, they were finally spotted. By then, it was too late. The cannons roared, the Texans charged, and across the battlefield echoed the cry that would define a nation. Remember the Alamo! Remember Goliad! 18 minutes, that's all it took. The Mexican army collapsed. Hundreds were killed, hundreds more surrendered, and Texas won its freedom. Sam Houston was wounded. His horse shot from beneath him. A bullet shattered his ankle. Yet he continued to lead. The next day, Santa Anna was captured, hiding in the tall grass. The dictator who believed Texas could never defeat him now faced the man who had outweighted him and outsmarted him. Soon after, Texas became an independent republic. 9 years later, it joined the United States. The consequences would reshape North America forever. Nearly 1/3 of the continental United States traces its sovereignty to those 18 extraordinary minutes at San Jacinto. Sam Houston would become the first president of the Republic of Texas, a governor, a senator, and one of the few Southern leaders who refused to support secession. When he died in 1863, at 70 years old, his final words were the names of his wife and his God. 190 years ago today, 18 minutes changed history forever.